Hey guys, welcome back to the Footie Boys ZA. We are back, we are live, and we are bringing the hottest topics to you guys. This is the channel where we bring the banter and the conversations from the streets, and we bring them to you guys for you guys to enjoy and to join us in the conversations as well. So I'm not by myself, I'm here with Sianda,
What's up?
and I'm also here with Cranker.
Wakanda forever.
Oh, and we are the Footy Boys today. So we want to talk about a really controversial topic, depending on what you support and how this has been implemented towards you. But the handball rule, guys, it's been making a lot of headlines these last few weeks. So what do you guys think about the handball rule and the role that the VAR has been playing in it?
Yeah, no. This handball rule has been very contentious. Hence, I say Wakanda forever because football players are now expected to play football like this. I mean, in all honesty, when VAR came in, that was one of my major concerns. Is that everything looks horrible in slow motion, and it's nice when it benefits, and it sucks when it's against you. But I feel like it's it's become too technical, and also at the same time it's become a bit unfair because we've seen so many different calls. I think one of the most contentious, the whole Eric Dyer situation. I think you look at that one and it's like, teams are literally using this rule, to their advantage in what I would regard as an unfair way. And so on the one hand, it's like, hey man, rules are rules. But now if teams are seeing the loopholes, then something's not right. Something about the
Yeah.
system is messed up.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
but
no,
can
go
you
ahead, go
say
ahead.
when you say like players exploiting loopholes to play devil's advocate, yeah? What about guys who dive or kind of extra act to get the foul when you know that you have? I mean, I understand that you have to do that sometimes, otherwise I won't judge. I can't blame people for wanting to exploit this new rule either. For me, the problem lies still with the human element. Because if you look at American football, when they had like a video referee, they've decided to look at everything from the video referee's perspective. But now with soccer, I think we're caught in between this place of like, we know
Yeah,
soccer's
even
like,
rugby. Even rugby.
yeah,
Yeah.
they like everything can be checked, you know what I mean? But soccer stuck in this place of like, okay, this kind of you can get away with some stuff in the past, but now there's VAR, and if they check it, and if they don't check it, and I mean, I must say, from the context of a guy who supports a team who is statistically benefited the least from VAR, so this
You
is
must show
completely
us these
unbiased.
stats so we can put them up. You must send me a link to them so we can put it in the description
In
for
the
the viewers
description, I'll
because
put all
we
the links
keep
in the
hearing
description.
we keep hearing about these stats about Arsenal suffering under VAR, but where are they? Anyway, yeah, a couple of handball like the Lindelof one. I just feel like there's no consistency. It feels like a good thing I think I like about VAR is the ref is now allowed to go check. But the problem with that is now the ref decides himself. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can watch literally one game after another, same day, like literally
Mm.
back to back, and the ref will make like a completely different call. And I think that's where it becomes problematic for me. I don't understand how to fix it, James.
I think they must just stick to like if I mean, unfortunately, that's the double-edged sword that VAR is. That I agree with the handball thing that because if you can look at it and see now, and it's a handball, you can't now turn a blind eye and say, "Aish, it was what." It's a handball. You know what I mean? It's
Mm.
unfortunate, but that's just the game. So I feel like maybe they should just fully dive into the VAR or not consider it at all because this half and half is tough.
Yeah, no, I think for me, my biggest grievance is just, we lose a lot of the football moments, um, because, sometimes you don't know whether you can passionately celebrate a goal because a few seconds later, something can be overturned. And so for me, that's still my
Listen, I
biggest
know even
grievance.
even games can be extended after they
I was about
end.
to say, even after the game is over, things can be changed.
Okay, I just thought of another good one, guys. What do you guys very quickly think about the goalkeepers and getting off the line in penalties?
Whew.
Ah,
Yeah, that's another one of
that's it.
fine margins.
I always thought, to be fair, I think they should take it away because I really feel like the penalty takers are really an advantage and the keepers are a disadvantage. And now keeping him on the line, I didn't think it made. I think if you're taking a good penalty, that shouldn't make a difference. That split second the goalkeeper comes off the
Yeah.
back. If these guys want to do these funny things where they're trotting for 20 minutes to go kick the ball.
Yeah, I think the one of the ways I saw it being really, really harsh was when De Gea saved
Oh,
the one in the
brutal,
Palace game.
dude.
His foot like was level with the line, but it was off, like it was in the air.
Off
And
the
they basically
ground.
said you stepped off the line, like, and they retook it. Another guy took it,
What do you think about
and he
that,
scored.
actually? Another Jeter coming to take a penalty that was missed. Is that fair
I'm trying
or
to, if the
unfair?
confidence goes off, then hey, you must change. uh,
Yeah.
Where
Raka,
would
what
you
do
put
you
it,
what do you
Linka?
think?
Would you go back, Linka, if you're taking the penalty? Would you go back and take it, or you
I
let
don't
somebody
miss
else
I
do
don't
it?
miss penalties like that, Mucha.
Oh, I've seen you miss
Oh,
penalties.
listen to
I've seen
this
you
man.
personally.
Listen to this
No,
man. Get out
don't
of
talk
here.
about five aside, Mchana. You're talking the big
Is
post.
that
I
not a
don't miss
penalty?
penalties in the
Is
big
that not a
post.
penalty? Anyway, Kanka, you're saying something.
Get out of here. But yeah, I mean, for me, I still don't know how I feel about the whole Man United Brighton game and the fact that the match was finished and then there was a call that was reversed. I
Okay.
mean,
Let me come defend. Let me come defend as we close the
brown
video.
envelopes are involved
There's no
somewhere.
defense
Brown
here.
Where
envelopes
when did the offense take place?
during the
When did
game.
it take place?
Yes.
So the infraction must the penalty for the infraction must come before the game ends. So it makes sense. Yes, the ref had
But the
called the
game.
game. The ref had called the game. It's the same way we have all seen where a team commits a foul, right? And then goes all the way to the other side and scores, like commits a foul, giving away a penalty, goes all the way to the other side and scores in that phase of play. And then when they check VAR, they're like, no, there was a penalty. They scrap the goal there and then they give a penalty that side. That's how it works. That's
That's
how it
But
in
works.
the
but the
game is still in
contention the
progress.
contention is that the final whistle was blown. Therefore, all phases are done at that point.
It's
That's the
over. The
big
game is
No,
over.
the infraction was unseen by the ref during the game. And we're not talking like a 10-minute span. We're talking like literally they just headed it out and then he blew the whistle. So he didn't see it, obviously. He didn't think there was. But when you look at the
Nah.
VAR, when you look at it, it's a clear handball and it happened before the ref called the game. So that's a penalty, guys. I don't
My
get how you
question, my question is, Linka, where does it stop then? Because you've heard in the past in games where they've looked back at a couple of refereeing decisions at like big games, and then they're like, yeah, maybe you could have made. Can they go back and fix those games?
No, that's a like we're talking phases of play. I'm saying in the
I'm,
same phase, the ball the after that phase of play, the game ended. It was the last phase of the game. So the infraction happened at that point before the whistle was blown. It makes sense that that infraction has to be punished within the limit of the game.
The best way to try to figure this out in an unbiased manner is, Linka, if the roles were reversed, would you accept this as
Yes.
graciously as you could?
Oh,
Nah,
no, I
I
won't
would
accept
not.
it.
I
What?
would
No.
not.
So you're asking me a question. You're asking me a question, and then I give you an honest opinion, and you're saying
You
no.
answer too quickly. You answer too quickly, and you didn't even think about
It's
that.
it's a rule of the game. I took the Lindelof penalty. I took it.
That
I
was
thought it was
what
soft, but I
what
took
I
it.
think. What I think you're not appreciating, Linka, is that when they blow the final whistle, you cannot go back and change anything. That's the point I was trying to make. When the final whistle, it's over, and I think it's dangerous to ever go back and do that within football. I think it's very dangerous because where does it end? I hear the
But
phase thing and one.
it's literally in the game. The infraction happens in the game. It's like if you don't get my explanation, I can't explain it any further. I'm
I
sorry.
do, I do, I
I'm
do.
sorry.
I just don't accept your explanation and saying that the game is over. The final whistle is it's you can't go back. Ish, there was a penalty, even if there was a continuation of the phase of the play or whatnot. it was over. And when they blow the final whistle, like you can't go back now and restart the game. You know what I mean?
So if the ref doesn't stop it, if the ref doesn't spot that in any other, like if it wasn't the end of the game, the ref doesn't spot that, does VAR not call it back?
But that's what we were saying in the beginning, that part of the challenge is we're still stuck in between the future, which is VAR, and the past, where this is part of football, and what happens between the start of the in the first minute and the 90th, or whenever the game ends, that's what happens, and that's the end. That's the beginning and the end. And whatever happens in between, it's left on the field.
What about the illustration I made about the penalty then? What happens then? When another team has scored off of that foul, and then the goal was given, and then they check VAR and they're saying there was an infraction, so the game has to be taken back. They struck the goal and they give a penalty.
Apples with apples, because there's no final whistle that was blown there. I think when the
ball, no, listen, Cranker. When the ball crosses the line for a goal the other side, the ref gives it, beep, it's a goal. And then VAR calls him, says, ref, isn't it the same thing? Because that phase ended with the ball rolling into the net.
But my thing is, it's still not apples with apples, because the game was still running. What's different with this case is that the game had ended. That's why there's a big contentious point. And that for me, it's creates now a good, well, let me not say good problem, but it means that now the whole system of VAR, they need to answer that question of, okay, is it really okay to do this and bring back play after final whistle or not? Because for me, I'm like,
that's same phase. You have to say same phase. You have to say same phase.
I'm not going to deny that it's same phase.
Yeah, you have to say same phase, because the same way I'm saying the ball goes and rolls into the other net. When it rolls into the net, that's the end of the phase. So the ref blows, says the goal is a goal. And then VAR says, no, that's not a goal because they gave away a penalty. So it has to go back. How is that different? There's two phases ending. It's the same thing.
I believe it or not, Link, I completely hear what you're saying. I don't know, Cranko, do you want to say something?
Yeah, I'm saying the argument here is not necessarily the phase argument. It's the final whistle being blown. Because now it means that even when the final whistle is blown, the match isn't over. That's what that call means.
Yeah.
That means you can only...
Yes, if there's an infraction in the final phase of the game, yes.
But for me, then that kills the football moments. That's my biggest problem with that, is that, man, it's like...
No, while the game was on, Maupay put his hand and he stopped the goal. What must we...
Then you
must should have got away with it, bro.
You must go to the league and cry and say...
You should have got away with it.
Yes.
Yeah, the ball went out, dude.
So you guys are taking... So you guys are saying what happened is fair, but it's unfair at the same time. That's what you guys
I'm just saying that it opens up a can of worms, because
to
what extent then do we... And I hear what you're saying.
But I'm asking, are you guys saying it's fair because he made a handball, he stopped the goal, but it's unfair that they got punished? That's what you guys are saying. Is that what you guys are saying?
We are saying
football. It's football.
We are saying the problem is that the match had ended and they are making us go back to the past. That's the biggest problem. We're not justifying Maupay's action, but we are saying it's going to create problems in the future in other games where teams will contest and they'll use the United Brighton game as a case study. And so, I mean, you guys benefited. We won't take that away from you. But we're just saying it's going to kill football moments in the future in other more serious cases. And then, it's
pretty cut and dry for me. But it's pretty cut and dry for me. But listen, let's let the viewers.
But when it chows you, it's tough.
I've been chowed many times, and sometimes you just have to say these are the rules of the game. What am I gonna say? Anyway,
that's true.
You can't say you've been chowed, Linka, when you've had the most penalties in the history of the
Sianda, why are you still talking about things from last season, dude?
Okay, I'm sorry.
How many penalties has Vardy scored this season? How many penalties has Vardy scored this season? This season. How many?
The season's still early.
Listen, you see now. You see now.
You said he's gonna score 40 goals. 40 goals from the penalty spot, so I don't know why you're fighting. And he said, inject it into my veins. Okay, guys. Thank you for joining us. Please like, subscribe, and what's the other one, Cranker?
You gotta comment. Don't forget to comment, man.
Do all the things that you gotta do. Hit us up. We'd love to interact with you guys on all our social medias. What's it call it? All right, guys. Peace.
Peace.